Hello everyone, DSP here, and today is Sunday, October 11th, 2015. This is the weekend preview. We've got a ton of stuff to cover, things that have happened in the past few days that have kind of completely shifted things around, changed the whole face of stuff that might be going on this month. I've got good news, I've got bad news, I've got all kinds of news mixed together to share with you, so I say please bear with me. This might be a lengthy and or very informative weekend preview covering a ton of topics, but it's very necessary. So please stay tuned, all right? So let's get started. Before we start with the schedule for this week, talk a little bit about this past week, because a lot of stuff happened that I certainly didn't plan on happening, things that changed the face of the week that obviously are going to change the future as well. So let's talk. First of all, this week, I ended up beating Transformers Devastation really quickly. You know, it ended up being a very short game. I did not only a full playthrough, but I reviewed the game. So all that is available, you know, the playthrough on DSP Gaming and the review right here on the King of Hate vlogs. I hope you'll check that out if you have not had an opportunity yet. I also put out a new DSP Tries It this Saturday. And I started this Gaia 5, played a little bit of that. In addition, I tried the betas, one beta, the Star Wars Battlefront beta, as well as played Metal Gear Solid Online, pretty much only one session, and that was one of the major changes this past week. I thought I was going to end up playing it a lot, but after playing it one session, I really had no desire to play it again, and quite honestly, my viewing audience really didn't care. They were like, we thought it was going to be something special. It seems to be more like a run-and-gun generic third-person shooter, or at least that's how everyone's playing it, so, And that was kind of everyone's opinion on it. Not a big deal. Not really anything to write home about or even talk about at length. So all that was released this week, all right? This weekend was much different than I had anticipated, okay? I had thought that this weekend, Leanna and I were going to be doing some autumn-related fun stuff at a pumpkin patch and local farm, including a corn maze and picking a pumpkin for Halloween, and we were going to vlog all that for you, and it didn't happen. We actually ended up going out on Saturday, and it was torrential downpours here in Washington State, like insanely amount of water falling out of the sky. It was just crazy, and we couldn't do it. It was like, there's no way. If we go to the farm, it's going to turn into a bog, and we're going to be slushing around in muck, and we can't obviously do stuff out in the pouring rain. So it didn't happen. Instead, we spent a whole day out and about doing just other stuff locally. Nothing that was worth filming, but I did a lot of Instagram posts. If you check out my Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, which is over here, or my Instagram. If you go to Instagram, /TheyCallMeDSP, that is my Instagram page, and I've got about 20-some pictures that I took yesterday while we were out at different shopping places, and I went looking for a Halloween costume, and it was some pretty interesting and funny stuff, so check that out if you haven't yet, okay? But the problem is, we didn't get to do what we wanted to do on Saturday. We're going to try to do it next week. What I'm going to do is later in the week on Saturday, maybe end my work a little bit early so we could get out of here maybe an hour earlier than usual and see if we can get to the farm in time before they close, because they do close pretty early. But we'll see about that. If it happens, great. If not, I'm not going to promise anything. I'll tell you how I'm going to fit that into the schedule in a few moments, all right? But undoubtedly, the big thing that happened this week that screwed everything up, and now everything is up in the air, is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I received another false copyright strike against my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming. And it's complete bogus bullshit. All the information that was submitted from the person, blatant false information. You could tell this person does not own the single frame of a picture from the internet that was used, yes, in a piece of fan art that was from a video from June of 2014, and it was the only video. You could tell what happened. These people who tried to take down my channel back in August were unsuccessful, and they're so angry and pissed that they couldn't do it. Now I gotta scour through every video DSP ever fucking released to find videos that may have artwork in them so that we could try to copyright strike them. And that's what they've done. And they took about a month and a half to find one. They found one video from June of 2014 and they put it in, and it struck because, again, YouTube's automated system is a piece of shit. I'm not going to go into detail about it. I have ad nauseum at this point, and there's nothing I can do to protect myself, all right? It sucks. I lost my streaming capabilities on DSP Gaming, and so I wasn't able to stream Friday. I wasn't able to stream any more than first stream. Saturday, luckily, I wasn't going to stream, and even today, I started playing the Talos Principle. Couldn't stream. I still can't stream. It still hasn't been enabled. Machinima is in contact with YouTube and asking them to restore my streaming capability just like they did back in August. Problem is, it was the weekend. And because, for some reason, YouTube thinks that their business only operates on a 5-business week or a 5 business day week, which they don't. They're a 24/7 fucking on-demand service, but they only have personnel there Monday through Friday. So because of that, no one at YouTube could actually restore my streaming capability. So I'm hoping this week, within another day or two, they stop dragging their fucking feet, they actually do some work, and they actually give me back my streaming capabilities for a false copyright strike for bullshit. Alright? So, the bottom line is, I can't tell you when my streaming capability is going to be back. I can't tell you when everything's going to be back to normal. I can't even promise you that more of these strikes aren't in the pipeline and are going to hit me over the next who knows how long until YouTube fixes their copyright system, which will probably be never, because it's always been like this. And they just don't give a shit. So, I'm sorry that I cannot stream right now. I know lots of people love to watch the daily streams, and there's nothing I can do about it, alright? I am going to continue business as usual. I am going to be doing gameplay offline, and then I'll upload it on demand, just like I used to DSP Gaming. Think what I did back in August for Until Dawn. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, alright? So no stream chat or anything involved. That's how it's going to be for the near future until I get my streaming capability back. So, I apologize, but I have no control over it. Okay, I literally am helpless at this point. I'm at the mercy of YouTube, which is a fucking piece of shit that doesn't care about people who give them content to, you know, make money on. It's that simple. So, some people have said, well, Phil, what can we do? Can we message YouTube? Can we message Machinima? Can we do this? Can we do... No, none of that will help. Not any of that will help. There's only 2 simple things you can do. I take that back. 3 simple things you can do to help me when all these attacks and shit are going on. Number 1, watch the videos that I have put out or did put out in the past. Yes, even things from 2-3 years ago here on over on DSP Gaming. You watch them, I get credit for them still. So, in a time when I can't stream and you're like, damn, or there's not enough, you know, man, Phil's not doing a game that I like right now, but I support him. Check out old stuff. If you go to thekingofhate.com, my website, there's a button on the top that says playlist. If you click there, there's a search engine. If you type in stuff, it will give you any game playthrough that I've done. So if you type in, turtle, it'll give you every game playthrough I've ever done that had the word turtle in the title. Like every Ninja Turtles game I've ever played, stuff like that. That's how good that search engine is, made by our webmaster, Onyx. It's amazing. And that's the go-to source to find my content, and it covers all my channels. So head over there to kingofhate.com, use that and search and watch old playthroughs, you know, until things are back to normal or until I'm playing a game that maybe you want to see, okay? That's number 1, how you could support me. Number 2, spread the word. I know a lot of people in this day and age, I say that and they're like, I can't spread the word, Phil. There's so much insanely negative stuff about you on the internet that of course is false or outdated information. What do you want me to do? It's just simple. Tell your friends, and if they say, oh, I heard that guy's a fucking, you know, an asshole, say, well, you're wrong. That's what dumb people think, because they don't fucking listen. They don't actually watch the videos. They listen to one-sided bullshit from a bunch of fucking immature kids, and they miss out on a lot of stuff, a lot of awesome content on a daily basis. And then if they watch, and if they don't, they don't. But at least you put in a little bit of a try there, a little bit of effort to try to spread the word about me. I don't have any way to promote myself because I can't afford it, and at this point, you know, I'm so run ragged with all this shit going on and all these attacks. How am I going to promote myself to get any kind more of exposure? You know what I mean? It's really, you know, I don't see how I could do it. Some people even said, Phil, why didn't you ever go on this podcast or that podcast? Because people always said they want you on there. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've heard there's like 2 or 3 bigger YouTubers who have asked for me to be on their podcast. They never contacted me, ever. No one ever did. There was, I think, 1 podcast in the past year that said they would like me on. And I said, okay, send me an email with information. They never did. So, there's no way for me to promote my stuff. I'm here working every day, you know, 8 to 10 hours behind the scenes, if not more. Outside of just the streaming, I'm also doing all the behind the scenes work. So there's tons of work that I'm doing every day, and that's all I can do. I don't have, you know, time or money or means to spread the word. So if you can help spread the word by word of mouth, that would help. And a third, this is probably for those, only for those who can't afford it, who absolutely feel like they want to go above and beyond, and they want to allow me to continue to do this in the long term, despite all these ridiculous setbacks that I've had this year and all these attacks. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Consider giving a couple bucks. Anything you give will qualify you for a cool perk. People today I'm going to actually have these September patrons. They're going to get their thank you text crawl at the end of this video. So check it out, and that's the third and final way really to support me through all this bullshit, alright? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pushing ahead positively. I'm looking forward to this week, and now let's get to it, because I need your feedback this week with a big amount of stuff that's going on. I definitely need your help, okay? So first of all, I'm playing the Talos Principle on PlayStation 4. The actual company that was hired by the game developers to promote the game contacted me, gave me a code for the game on PS4. So I'm playing it, and so far so good. I love it. It's a combination of puzzle-like gameplay from, think Portal, combined with open world exploration, combined with great graphics and the story of, say, the game Soma that I recently played. It's kind of a combination of all these different factors into one game, and I'm really enjoying it. So check it out. That's what I'm going to be working on for the next day. That's right, Monday, I'm thinking I'm just going to focus on Talos Principle and see how far I can get. I don't know how long the game actually is, but I'll see how far I can get because I really am enjoying it, and I want to keep playing the game. Okay? This Tuesday, we've got some new releases, and what I want to do is discuss it with you on what I should do this week, because let me explain. Right now, I have started my Disgaea 5 game playthrough, alright? I've played 2 sessions of it right now, and I'm liking the game, and I definitely am going to continue playing it, regardless of the fact that, is it getting crazy views? Absolutely not. It's getting basically what I get for every JRPG, around 1,000 views per video. And that's pretty much what I've seen for every JRPG I've played in the past 2 years. I get about 1,000 views per video. Even that Persona 4 playthrough that everyone appraised, right, and said it was one of the best playthroughs I've ever done, only got about 1,000 views per video. So it's pretty much on par with any JRPG, not doing any better or any worse. I'm going to continue playing that, but I have a real question this week. Right now, this week, the #1 bigger release, the thing that I think that I want to play the most, is the first expansion for The Witcher 3, okay? I forget what the name of it is, but people are saying it's anywhere from 10 to 12 hours long, so it'll probably fill up maybe 3 sessions for me, we'll see. And I'm excited to play it. I bought the Season Pass for Witcher 3, so I want to play this DLC and see exactly what it entails. And so I want to play that on Tuesday. The only other big release this week is Dragon Quest Heroes. Now, if you don't know what that is, Dragon Quest is a very famous, very popular JRPG series, mostly in Japan. In Western audiences, not a lot of people talk about this game, although it does have a, that niche following, that cult following in the United States and more Western countries, Western developed countries. So, what this game does, it takes all the characters from like the best Dragon Quest games. It slaps them together with combat from Dynasty Warriors, but also very interesting story and RPG elements. I've heard this is like, out of all the mashups that are Dynasty Warriors-esque, which we've had how many now, right? There was Gundam, and there was One Piece, and there was Hyrule Warriors a year or 2 ago. This apparently is the best one. In Japan, it was like a huge bestseller, and it was like, insanely successful. They didn't expect it to be that successful. And so it's hitting this week. Now, here's my dilemma, because I want to give you a perspective on what to expect for the rest of the month. Next week, we've got the conclusion of Life is Strange. We've got the conclusion of Tales from the Borderlands. And I believe there's a possibility, it's rumored, but it still has not been confirmed by Telltale yet, that the first episode of their game, the Minecraft Story Mode, might come out next week. It's rumored. It might not come out, but I'm just throwing that out there. So that's 3 big episodic games that could take up a serious amount of time next week. Keep in mind, hopefully I'll have beaten The Witcher 3 DLC, but if I haven't, that'll still be going, and I'm still going to be carrying this Disgaea 5, okay? That Friday after that is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and then the week after that is Halo and the WWE games, and then my Halloween marathon at the end of the month. So, as you can see, I'm going to be very busy with new releases. My question is this: should I play Dragon Quest Heroes? I'll be honest with everyone. I want to play it. Like, I saw this game. I love Dragon Quest. I've actually played Dragon Quest 1 through 7 on their, they've like remastered them all and made them like portable versions for the Nintendo DS, and I've played every one of them, and I love them. I love the Dragon Quest games, and I would love to re-experience those characters who I haven't seen in years now come into an action-based game with RPG elements and a big new excellent story. I mean, if the Japanese people loved it, they said this is great, so I'm thinking it's going to be a very good game for those of us who are JRPG fans. But is it the time to do it? Because I'm already doing Disgaea 5, right? I'm already going to be playing Witcher 3. Undoubtedly, what's going to end up happening, if I do play Dragon Quest Heroes, that means Disgaea 5 is going to go on the back burner for this week while I balance Witcher 3 and Dragon Quest. And then it'll continue next week. It'll probably be all those episodic games along with Dragon Quest Heroes for the course of the week, and see how far we can get until all those crazy-ass new releases start releasing. Alright? The reason I'm really on the fence about it, #1, already, I know RPGs don't get a lot of views, and I know that people are going to say, oh, he's playing all RPGs this week. But I don't know what else to play. That's all that's out, are RPGs. Witcher 3, Dragon Quest Heroes, and I'm playing Disgaea 5. Like, those are the games that are out. So it's not like there's anything else new that I could be playing. I'm playing what's out. And that's what's out right now, okay? So that's number one. Number two, it's a $60 release, which kind of blows my mind. Like, $60 to take a JRPG that really only has prominence over in Japan and have a mashup with Dynasty Warriors and bring it to the Western audiences. Like, wouldn't you sell it as a more, like, $40? Then maybe more people would buy it. But apparently it is like a full-fledged, really in-depth game that's worth $60. And I'm apprehensive about spending $60 on a game that people might watch one part of and say it's a JRPG and not watch anymore, okay? So I don't know. I don't know what to do this week. I need your feedback. Do you want to see Dragon Quest Heroes or not? Is it okay? Understand that if I do play Dragon Quest Heroes this week, that Disgaea 5 is going to go on hold for a while until I get through Dragon Quest Heroes. Is that okay? Right? Is that acceptable? Or is it, oh my god, you know, now it's taking too long for him to get back to Disgaea 5. Would you rather just see me continue on with that? Okay? I don't know. I don't have the answers. You know, that's why I'm trying to get your feedback. I don't have all the answers right now. I certainly know that once we start hitting those episodic games concluding and all the games at the end of the month, the last 2 weeks of October are going to be very busy with stuff people want to see. But I need to get there, and I need to play the stuff that's out, and I want to play these games that are out. But I want to know what is going to garner interest. Now, you know, I should play Dragon Quest Heroes. I start playing it, and within 2 days, no one's watching anymore. I can't even get 1,000 views per video, and it's like, do something else. I have a big loud crowd, do something else, do something else. But there's nothing else to do. Or I play Dragon Quest Heroes. Phil should have just played Disgaea 5 instead. You know, I don't know what to do. You know, this month was a very uncertain month. We didn't know what was going to happen with certain games. I wish I could have played Rock Band 4, but I couldn't. I wish I could play Guitar Hero, but I can't. I already have false copyright strikes against my channel. Thank God I didn't play Rock Band 4. Imagine if I had already had copyright strikes against my channel from Rock Band that had come out of nowhere, and then this false one came through and it shut me down. I would have been screwed. So I certainly made the right decision last week, not playing Rock Band and not playing Guitar Hero later this month. Certainly. So I need your feedback. Let me know what you think. Okay? So, this Tuesday, you will absolutely see The Witcher 3 DLC. You may or may not see more Talos Principle, depending on how far I've gotten after playing it all day tomorrow, okay? This week, you may see Disgaea 5, or you may see Dragon Quest Heroes, depending on the feedback I get from this video. Directly in response to this video is going to determine what I play this week. Typically, the weekend preview gets anywhere from 3,000 all the way up to, say, 7,000, 8,000, depending on what week it is, views. If 1,000 people who watch this video will watch Dragon Quest Heroes every video, I'll play it. So let me know. And of course now I'll get like 5 people who will respond. So I mean, there's no way to get valid input anymore. And it sucks because I want to do what people want, but I don't know what it is. And it's a tough decision to make when I have limited time. Alright. Time for some good news. This week, the Hate Live podcast will return. Yes, I've decided that this is the perfect week because it is more of a slow week with all these RPGs out. So this Thursday, my second session, whether it's a stream or not. Right now, I could still stream here on the King of Hate vlog. So right now I'm gonna say it's a stream, but who knows what could happen between now and then. But it'll be my second session stream, whatever you want to call it. The podcast will return, and we're gonna have a ton of topics to talk about. I'm gonna do a recap of all the games that I've been playing recently and let you know exactly what I think about them. I'm going to be talking a little bit about plans that I have for the coming months, or I'm actually going to reveal for the first time a little bit more about my holiday specials that are coming up in November and December, so everyone can get a taste for that and know exactly what's coming up with that, okay? In addition to that, I'm going to be talking a little bit about plans for the future, because it's become abundantly clear with some current events that have happened in the past month to month and a half that I need to eventually make some changes to what I'm doing here if I want to survive as a business. It's that simple. There has to be change. And I have an interesting idea for change, but I need to talk to, you know, my viewers and see if we're all on the same page. If I can get some carryover from people who watch, or maybe watch my vlogging but don't watch my gameplay, or maybe I can get more people to watch. You'll see what I mean. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it because it's an interesting idea that I've been dabbling with. And I really need buy-in from a lot of people, from you, the viewer, I actually am trying to get an answer out of Machinima, and they didn't really talk to me about it this week because everything that happened with the false copyright strike, that's what we started getting inundated with instead of talking about this. But I'm going to talk about this at length, reveal of a big idea that I have for maybe next year, I'm thinking. on the podcast this week, okay? So, and plus any current events, anything that comes up. I'm going to be talking about movies that I'm very interested in seeing in the next few months and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I'll actually be talking a little bit about television this time around. There's some TV shows I've been watching, including Fear the Walking Dead, Scream Queens, some shows there that I think that I can actually give you a little bit of an interesting, my take on that kind of stuff that's been on television recently that I've been watching. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well as wrestling. I've actually started watching wrestling again. I've been watching Monday Night Raw, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So we're going to have a lot of discussion this week on the podcast. I hope you'll join me for that Thursday night, okay? So this week, you're definitely going to see Talos Principle. You're definitely going to see The Witcher 3 DLC. It's going to be balanced either with Disgaea 5 or Dragon Quest Heroes, dependent on your feedback, okay? And then the rest of the week is going to be gameplay, all that taking us into the weekend, all right? I don't know if there's going to be a new DSP Tries It this week. We have to see if there's something available for us to try. Right now, we really have been busy and haven't had a chance to look. But if you didn't see it, the new DSP Tries It that came out this past week was that Black Halloween Whopper from Burger King that everyone wanted to see me try, so check that out. But outside of that, you know, that's the week, you know, that is the week ahead of us. I'm hoping I'll get live streaming back at some point. That would be nice. And we'll go from there. I can't promise you anything until I get feedback on what exactly I should be doing this week. I'll tell you this, if you are not an RPG fan, if you hate RPGs with a passion, man, they're so boring, next week will be a lot different with the Life is Strange conclusion, the Tales from the Borderlands conclusion, balancing that with Assassin's Creed that'll be launching. Next week's going to be a really interesting and fun week, but we got to get there. So thank you to those of you who watch everything I put out, who like JRPGs and RPGs and are going to watch the RPG content this week. We're getting to a lot more of a variety of fun content coming up, but we have to get there. And I need your buy-in. I need your help. That you're going to watch the videos. You're going to spread the word. Consider Patreon, especially when I can't live stream and that's shot down. Your support helps. It really does. And I'm very appreciative of that. And by the way, FYI, immediately following my ending of filming this video, which is going to be in a moment because I've gone long here, I'm going to be working on Patreon stuff, so if you were a pledge of mine in the month of September, I'm going to be working on getting forum accounts upgraded, and if I owe you a t-shirt or a private video, I'm going to be working on all of that immediately following my finishing of the filming of this video, so expect that stuff in the next few days to weeks, okay? And I will be talking about Patreon this coming Thursday on the podcast because I'm going to set up the new goals for the month of October. And yes, I'm going to start mentioning it because yes, Patreon's a huge part of the reason why I'm still here this year. We hit the goals for September after I literally had to really push and plug the shit out of it. So if we're going to hit the goals for October, I need to get a head start. So I need to get working on that by the end of this week. And we'll start talking about that stuff, okay? That is it, everyone. Thank you very much for watching the Weekend Preview. I hope to see you for more Talos Principle. I hope to see you for the Witcher 3 DLC, whether or not I do Dragon Quest Heroes, if more Disgaea 5, for the podcast, for all the fun stuff coming up this week. Thank you for understanding about the streaming being away because of this bullshit. I'm going to push through it and keep going because we got so much great stuff coming up in this season. You know what I mean? So many great games I'm looking forward to. Just off the top of my hand. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, there's at least 6 really awesome games that I'm looking forward to in the next month or so. I'm not going to let this negative shit hold me down. I'm going to keep pushing forward, and the important thing about you is to stay out of it. Don't listen to idiots on social media who want to fucking make shit up, because that's the thing. I get attacked, my streaming capability goes away, all of a sudden, oh look, there's negativity about me all over the internet, all shit that was made up. Gee, I wonder why. Could there be something that coincides the two? I wonder. But, you know, everyone's innocent, you know, but that's besides the point. Stay out of that shit, all right? Watch the content, enjoy it, spread the word. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you this week for more gameplay, which is what's important, and that's what we're all here for. Let's face it, that's the whole reason why I've ever went on YouTube, was to have a good time and share my gameplay experiences. As long as I can keep doing that in some form, I'm happy. All right, everyone? Thank you. Have a good week. I'll see you all this week for new gameplay, and I'll thank you to the following patrons, which, by the way, I noticed a typo. These are the September patrons, and I have updated all the names, but it still says thanks to the August patrons. It's supposed to be the September, but here they are. Without further ado, thanks to the following patrons. Peace out, everybody.